Well, I'm excited. So I got all my wheat samples from my various fields and different management tests that Kurt turned us on to. Kentucky Ag Lab.
Waters.
Waters Ag Lab, yeah. Anyway, going to send the grain samples in, and then they take that grain and they do a nutrient removal per bushel times bushels to see what your actual nutrient removal is. Because we see on, what is the whole removal. Okay, well, what did you, in this farming practice, because I swear different practices will, obviously, because you have some guys do really great and they raise higher protein wheat. They raise higher fat content in corn. That's something that I know some guys working on right now is higher fat content in corn. You having to use less of it in the feedlot and still getting the same gains, things like that. Mm-hmm. And so it's like really honing in on, okay, what's causing this? What is our nutrient value? But I don't know. I see a ton of agriculture going that way for being paid on value of grain, not quantity of grain. Quantity's cool. Quantity's fun. Quantity's great. But I mean, obviously, there's companies right now that are starting to pay premiums on, hey, if you can do this, we want it this, and we'll pay you a premium, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, we haul all of our commercial corn to a feedlot nearby. That's where we get our manure. We're kind of married to them a little bit, and I kind of grew up with the guy who runs it. So, but we just do high moisture corn. We get right after it.
Okay.
So we usually start right at that 25%. Try not to let it go below 20 if we can get through the acres, which, sometimes it's hard.
Sometimes it's hard.
But when we harvest, it's the ear and above is all green.
Yeah.
Which is, I think,
smells like silage when you're going through it.
It's a little freaky, but it's 22 moisture corn, and it looks like it should be 35, 40.
Right.
So that's, we found some hidden bushels there, obviously.
Yeah.
Keep it alive as long as possible. That's
Happy plants die slow.
Dang right.
Yeah, dude, people I had a conversation with a guy, and he, even though the corn was one of his best yielding ones, he didn't plant it because it took longer to dry down. Really, he's like, oh, the dry down was terrible. He's like, I had to cut it last. It really ticked me off. And I'm like, but wait a minute. It was, maybe that means it was a healthy plant. Maybe, in my mind, okay, that one was conducive to your practices and your environment more than the other ones. Because, he's like, well, I wanted to cut it faster. Okay. But are you looking at big picture here?
Right.
Have you asked yourself, why was it last to die? And I don't know. I want to have some conversations down the road sometime with some seed geneticists, some guys that like truly understand how this works. Be like, hey, in comparing, we look at yield data and soil types. Mm-hmm. We have all these plots all over the United States. Seed companies do, and these are the top winners. These are whatever. Dude, I want to look at some other factors too, like what I did some trial data of my own personally to see what hybrids were most responsive to what nitrogen practices. Mm-hmm. Because that there are some older genetics tied into some newer genetics that the older is probably more efficient than the new. But maybe I'm saying it completely backwards.
I don't even know if it's more efficient. It's just when it needs its N or when it needs this nutrient.
Right.
And it's funny because this is another thing I talked with Brian Peterson on the drive here. It was just like there's families within genetics.
Yeah.
Okay. There's these families. These families have characteristics.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just a deeper dive into when you go through your seed order. Mm-hmm. It's having these conversations of, hey, these are my management practices.
Yeah.
Which family's best fit?
Well, you have hybrids that are more resistant to GOS as well. You have more that are resistant drought. You have your drought hybrids. You have your racehorse hybrids. No one talks about, hey, this hybrid does really well in higher managed nitrogen or fertigation, or this one had a higher response to UAN versus urea.
Right.
You want to rip some Band-Aids off some stuff, start showing some data off that.
Well, and I know how challenging getting those data points. Would
Oh, that's
be.
very.
Right?
That is very.
I mean,
did it.
that's a huge feat to try
I did
to
it on
take.
one hybrid.
Yeah.
With 3 different nitrogen sources, dude. It about killed me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. What's
Yeah.
even crazy out there now? But there's a company that you give them your legals, and they'll tell you what's hybrid to plant.
Really?
Yeah. So
Because they get soil data, or
Fertility? What
Really?
do they take in?
I don't know the whole story, but it was just, and they were like so confident that if XYZ doesn't happen, we'll pay you back, whatever. Like, and I remember listening to it, and I was like, oh, I want to see this.
yeah.
There's so many variables.
If you're this company,
I don't know.
shoot me a DM on Instagram.
Yeah.
I'd be interested in hearing about it.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to hear about that. Jeff, how do you stay positive when corn has a 3 on the front? Sorry, not to change topics.
It's a tough one. Yeah, I don't know.
What keeps it fun for you?
I just try to create bushels. I love it. I mean, I know there's a certain point where the ROI is not great, but it's just the driving force for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you balance ROI and pushing bushels?
Well, that's a good question. I'm bad at it.
Well, and I think there's some realization too, though. It's like you have your go acres,
Yes.
and those go acres, you can do whatever you want
yes.
to a point. You know.
Yeah.
There's certain indicators that, especially with corn, did it come up all at the same time within 24 hours. If I see that, it's on.
That's your first indicator.
Oh, I'm going for it, man. You bet.
Mental note to I'm like mentally writing this down.
If
that's
it
your
takes,
deciding
if it takes
factor.
3 to 4 days for everything to come up, you better pull her back.
All based on emergence.
All based on emergence. That's why we don't plant till, usually the 5th or 7th of May. I want that soil warm.
Okay. You're willing
I don't
to
want
give up
any struggling
time
buses.
for even.
Right.
Got it.
Yep. We don't have that much commercial corn, so it's easier for us. But that strip till machine showed me a lot last year.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, all the PBYs will have strip till next year. Just because I want that I love perfect emergence.
Yeah.
There's nothing better. And it's hard to get that with no-till.
There is
Because you got temperature differences. You've got,
chunk
trash.
residue.
Yeah. You know how it
Yeah,
works.
cow turds.
Yeah.
I do.
Yep. Yep. When I walk into a field, if I can see all the ears right in the same height, she's going to go.
Well, Rob talked about that.
Yep.
He said, you want a number one thing with all the highest contest or growers? He said, even. That's it. That's like the number one thing they all start at is did it start? Is it even across the field?
Yep.
It's because you're taking an average of an area. We all pull an ear and we do the counts. He goes, okay, but do you have a variance in these? How much is the variance? How much per row? How much per acre? It's just even makes yield.
I'm not a big fan either of the non-GMO corn being mixed in. I'd rather do it the old-fashioned way where you just have
A block.
a block,
Okay.
because I have seen it. The emergence is different. You're like, one is late. I know it's going to be
Dig it up, different
it's
color.
a different color.
Color.
Well, because it's the
refuge in a
Yeah,
bag.
refuge
corn.
in a bag.
Yeah, I don't like it. I wish they'd go back the old way.
Okay.
Then you just manage that little block, and spray it.
Well,
Big
for
deal.
yeah, never mind. Bad thought.
And
He was about to go off.
and I would wish they would, even if they charge us a little extra, for them to supersize that corn. I'm talking. I want everything
kernel,
exactly the same. Each one of them.
Oh, okay.
And nowadays, like Pioneer does their PDR, PDF. Other companies do. It's a mixed bag. And you get emergence differences with that. You just do. So, charge me a little extra, because I know Hula. He sizes his own stuff.
Really?
Yeah. He wants everything perfect. That's how he gets there. It's pretty cool.
Interesting.
So, if there's seed corn companies listening out there, that would be great.
You just say just a little tip.
Or I don't want to buy my own sizer, that's for sure. But anyways, yeah, just a.
I'm just trying to get my third replant done. Yeah, dude, but that's so okay. I'm like, sorry, I'm king of rabbit trail, so now I'm thinking about emergence and not staying positive with a corner of the 3 on the front.
Yeah.
But what's Jeff going to do next year on his operation? Like do you, because you said Jeff, you're really good at like, okay, I'm going to focus on this.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, pretty obvious, you're focused on mag. And how much do you think you lose when guys start trying to fix too much at one time?
Oh my, it's impossible. You can't track it all.
Too many variables.
Too many variables.
Okay.
I got to see if that one thing that I have in my brain all winter long, I got to see if that's going to work.
What was the number one thing you fixed?
Well, when we started doing manure, that was a fixer of a lot of things. Also created other problems. Like white mold, like tying up other nutrients. But our pHs are anywhere from 6.8 to 7.1.
Oh, so pretty good.
So we're in that sweet spot, but we have problems getting certain nutrients in because it's that high.
Sure.
So, yeah, it's been good so far, you know. But our struggle is with seed corn. Your herbicide options are limited. So, and we have a water hemp issue. So this year, this fall, I'm going to drill rye again because that works.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing usually. There's hardly any water hemp that come up in the rye.
And then strip till through it.
Yep.
Okay.
Or no till it, because what I do is I have like magnetic little pieces that I stick in the drill.
Yeah.
And I'll shut off one out of every. We'll plug 1 out of 4 rows, and then I shift over 3.5 inches, so it leaves a 15-inch gap on the top of the ridge, and plants 3 rows of rye.
Man, I can't get over that ridge thing.
Yeah, actually, it's crazy because I could see it this more. You know, when you have a wet year, ridge till's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because there'll be a foot difference between corn. If you have like a corner that was ridged high, and the rest of the field is under pivot and it's got a small ridge or flat, there is a foot difference this year in corn. Gotcha. And green. It's greener. It's amazing.
Wow.
Well, even going
it's a perfect environment.
On the ridge too.
Guys, if you've liked the information that you've seen so far, go ahead and check out the full-length podcast on our YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe there. It's also on all the major podcast platforms. We're constantly dropping info and more content on all the social media platforms, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, etc. Check it out for a lot more content.